Welcome to the deep dive. You've probably wondered, like many people, how exactly do you price a home perfectly?
Hmm.
We're talking about getting it sold fast, top dollar, and without that awful feeling that you're just guessing.
Or worse, yeah, having to
Mm,
cut your commission just to make the deal work.
exactly. So our insights for this deep dive, they come straight from John Baptiste. He's a managing partner over at Local Realty Agency Mid-Cities,
Right.
and he's put together this really specific data-driven system for pricing homes. It promises to, well, cut through all that guesswork.
That's right. And our mission today really is to unpack what he calls his three-step pricing mastery system.
Okay.
The whole idea is shifting away from, feelings and maybe those old school marketing
Right,
tricks
the gimmicks.
to hard facts. It gives you a clear path, a really effective strategy for positioning a home.
So if you're sitting there, maybe tired of that uncertainty, and you want a clear, actionable system, something that actually gets results,
Hmm.
you are definitely in the right place. Let's dig in.
Let's do it.
Okay, so John Baptiste points something out pretty quickly. A big misconception.
Yeah.
We've all seen it, right? Maybe even done it. Those really flashy marketing efforts for listings.
Oh, yeah. The videos, the constant social media.
Elaborate videos, nonstop posts, big open houses. The thinking is, well, this is how you sell a home, isn't it?
But what's really interesting is John Baptiste's take on this. He basically suggests, look, these tactics, yeah, they're everywhere, but maybe they serve more to promote the agent
Ah, okay.
than to actually directly sell the home. He often says agents tend to overestimate how much that big flashy marketing helps.
Right.
And really underestimate the power of getting the price exactly right using data. So that kind of sets up a totally different approach.
More effective one, sounds like.
Yeah, Local Realty Agency Mid-Cities, they really champion this proven three-step strategy, and it just reframes how you think about pricing entirely.
Yeah. So,
It moves the whole conversation away from subjective stuff, feelings about the house, to something purely objective, rooted in data, facts. It's all about positioning it right from the get-go.
Okay, so if we're moving from feelings to facts, how does John Baptiste actually start that? What's the first, concrete thing an agent does with this system?
Right, so that takes us to step one. The first critical step in this three-step pricing mastery system, they call it the buyer demand tracker.
Your demand tracker, okay.
It's literally about following the buyers.
Yeah.
Where are they actually looking?
So how do you do that practically?
Well, you log into the tools agents use every day, like ShowingTime Plus or your local MLS.
Right, standard stuff.
Standard stuff. And you pull up what's called a listing activity report, but specifically for the neighborhood you care about.
Okay.
And here's the key part. You break down all the showing activity by price increments. Maybe $25,000, maybe $50,000 brackets.
Why that's specific?
Because that precision, it helps you find the exact buyer hotspots. It stops you from pricing a home at, say, $505,000. And the data clearly shows buyer activity just falls off a cliff after $499,000. That tiny difference. That can mean weeks, maybe months, sitting on the market.
Wow.
So the main question you're asking is simple, but it's powerful. Where are buyers most active right now? That tells you where the real demand is.
That sounds incredibly useful. Do you have a real-world example? Where did this data actually change a pricing strategy?
Oh, absolutely. John Baptiste shared a perfect one from his own work. He had this listing, right? And the initial thought, maybe based on what the seller hoped for, general buzz.
Yeah, the usual inputs.
Exactly. Was to price it over $500,000. But then he ran the buyer demand tracker. And what did it show?
What?
Almost zero showings above $500K. Like nothing. But just a little bit lower, down around $475,000.
Yeah.
Tons of showings, just packed with activity.
Huh.
So that one piece of data, it completely changed the whole pricing conversation for that specific house.
Yeah.
Led to a much smarter strategy.
Okay, so you've found where the buyers are, step one. But then you need to know who else is trying to get their attention, right?
Exactly. You got it. That brings us right to step two. The market competition check.
Makes sense. Checking out the competition.
Yeah, this step is all about figuring out the competition at each specific price point. How many other homes are actually for sale in that target bracket you identified?
Okay.
But just knowing the number of homes, the supply, that's not quite enough.
Right.
The real insight, the actionable part, comes when you pair that supply data with the showing data, the demand data, from step one.
Ah, connecting the dots.
Connecting the dots. That's how you really get the balance or imbalance between buyer demand and the available supply.
So what would that look like? Can you give some scenarios?
Sure. The source gives a couple of clear ones, like imagine your listing is maybe one of only 3 homes available at $475,000.
Right. Not much competition.
Right. And you know from step one that $475K is buzzing with showings, lots of buyer activity.
Yeah.
That's your sweet spot. That's where you want to be.
Got it. And the flip side?
The flip side, let's say there are 12, maybe 15 homes listed at $500,000.
Okay. Crowded.
Very crowded. And step one showed you hardly anyone is even looking in that range. Well, then pricing your home there is just, it's a clear mistake.
Yeah, a costly one. Your house just sits.
Exactly. Just sits there gathering dust, potentially for way too long.
Okay, so step 1, follow the buyers. Step 2, check the competition at that buyer hotspot. What's the final piece? Step 3?
Step 3 is the standout home review.
Standout home review.
Yeah, this is where you make absolutely sure that your listing isn't just another option for buyers, but that it looked like the obvious first choice, the one they have to see.
How do you do that? What does that involve?
It involves getting really granular with the comparative analysis. You're literally checking everything. The online photos are really amazing. Recent updates. Curb appeal.
Okay.
Even things like days on market for the competition. If a competing home has been sitting forever, that tells you something, right?
Yeah.
Probably overpriced or has issues.
Right, it's a signal.
It's a signal. And you compare all that against your client's home.
So the goal is what? Just to look better.
It's about strategic positioning. You want buyers to perceive your listing as, say, the best value. Or maybe it's the most updated one. Or perhaps it's the quickest, easiest move-in option.
Depending on what matters most to buyers there.
Exactly. Whatever factors are key for buyers in that specific area. You need to be undeniably superior on the points that matter. Like, are your photos so bright and welcoming they literally stop buyers scrolling online? Does your place have that new kitchen that screams, move in ready, especially compared to the slightly cheaper house down the block that looks like a project? You want it to be the no-brainer.
Okay, this all sounds incredibly logical when you lay it out step by step. Step 1, 2, 3. But how does it actually play out? Can we walk through a real-world example of how Local Realty Agency Mid-Cities uses this whole system together?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's paint a picture. Imagine you're working with a family, right? And they need to move maybe relatively quickly.
Okay, common scenario.
Very common.
Yeah.
So you dive into the data. Step 1, buyer demand tracker. It clearly shows buyers are all over that $475,000 to $485,000 range. That's where the heat is.
Right.
Simultaneously, step 2, market competition check. It reveals that homes priced higher, say $500K plus, they're just sitting, stagnating, not getting showings.
Oh, okay. Clear picture forming.
Exactly. Now, what's really cool is how John Baptiste describes involving the client. It's not just you telling them the price.
Ah, okay. How does that work?
You actually walk your clients through those showing reports. Show them the numbers. Show them the local inventory data, the competition you found in step 2.
So they see the facts themselves.
They see the facts themselves.
Yeah.
And together, armed with that concrete data, you can confidently set a price. Let's say you land on $439,900.
Right in that sweet spot.
Perfectly positioned in the active buyer zone, and it stands out against the competition based on your step 3 review. And the result? Within days, typically you're flooded with showings, you get strong interest, and pretty soon you have a very, very happy seller.
Because it worked. It sold quickly, likely for a good price.
Exactly. And this strategic positioning, it doesn't just sell homes fast. It helps agents win more listings in the future because they build that reputation.
And earn respect.
Earn huge respect, yeah. And importantly, without feeling pressure to constantly cut their fees.
So boiling it down, the really big takeaway for you, looking at John Baptiste's insights from Local Realty Agency Mid-Cities, it's crystal clear. Pricing isn't magic. It's not guesswork.
Not at all. It's a precise, data-driven exercise.
Yeah.
And if you connect that to the bigger picture, it's really about mastering strategic positioning. If you genuinely follow the buyer data, if you intimately know your market competition and you make sure your listing truly stands out, you're not just getting homes sold quickly and for top dollar. You are building this undeniable reputation, expertise, effectiveness.
That is such a powerful shift, isn't it? Moving away from just intuition or, like you said, those flashy gimmicks to cold, hard data. It feels like the kind of actionable system that can really make a tangible difference for agents and sellers.
It really does. And, thinking about this whole approach, it kind of raises a bigger question, maybe for all of us listening.
Oh, what's that?
Well, Just consider how often we make critical decisions, and not just in real estate, right?
Hmm.
In lots of parts of life, based mostly on assumptions or just feelings.
Good point.
Instead of looking at objective data or, market realities, it makes you wonder what other areas of your life or maybe your work might seriously benefit from a real deep dive into the factual indicators,
Yeah,
instead of just relying on guesswork or hoping to the best.
that is a great thought to chew on, something to really consider. Well, thanks for joining us for this deep dive today.
My pleasure.
And we really encourage you out there to think about applying this fact over feelings mindset, whatever it might fit in your own pursuits.